Before I jump into Aehr Test Systems, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, fiscal.ai. I'm going to show you a couple of visuals from fiscal.ai's platform, as well as some of the data that we build using fiscal.ai's API, which is fantastic. Real-time updated data from the Fiscal platform, and a fantastic resource if you're trying to understand a business, its position in the industry it participates in. Great visualizations of basics like stock price and market cap, as you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen, as well as charting and visualizations of some deeper stuff, including things like return on equity, return on invested capital, which for a company this small like Aehr Test Systems, you can see here on this Fiscal dashboard for Aehr Test Systems, has actually been pretty darn good. Thanks to the team over at fiscal.ai. We use them as part of our research every day here at Chipstock Investor. You can get 15% off any paid plan of your own if you use our special link, fiscal.ai/CSI. While we're looking at this visual here from Fiscal, I want to call out a few things that are of particular importance. We followed Aehr Test Systems for a number of years now. Casey's a big fan of the company as well. We first started researching and investing in Aehr in late 2022 through early 2023. And we've actually seen this story before. It's a small cap. At times in the last couple of years, it's actually been more like a micro cap stock, market cap of well under $1 billion. And as a result, unfortunately, the stock price is pretty crazy. It's all over the board, highly volatile. And there are periods of time where that stock price gets manipulated both to the downside and more recently to the upside by traders. That's fine. That's just how the stock market works. But we've reached a point here as of this recording, market cap of well over $2 billion. Second week of April, it was closer to a $3 billion market cap. That's all fine and well. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you may be wondering, why is this stock ripping higher? They only did $10 million in revenue in the last quarter. And the guidance they provided for their Q4 of fiscal 2026, which comes to an end here in just a couple of months. The fiscal 2027 period will begin in June of 2026. The guidance they provided does imply they will finally start to return to growth, thanks to the acquisition that they made of a company called InCal last year, which helped them diversify their business away from just test and burn-in of silicon carbide, especially for electric vehicles, and now do test and burn-in for AI accelerators, including packaged AI accelerators or TPUs, probably for Google and more specifically one of Google's subcontractors, maybe ASE or Amcor or someone to that effect. Congrats to the team over at Aehr. It was a fantastic acquisition and things are starting to turn around for the company. The problem here, though, is the market is already pricing in a massive return to growth in the year ahead. A $2.5 billion to $3 billion market cap when your revenue outlook is, let's say, 50 million to 100 million. Maybe it comes in a bit higher than that when we get some more insight on fiscal 2027 later this year. But until then, we're sort of in this no man's land where the stock has run up far beyond the expectations that have already been provided by the management team. And if you try to chase the stock now at this point, you run the risk of being someone's exit capital, a trader's exit capital, somebody that was in the stock early on. They're now sitting on maybe 100% or a couple 100% profit in just the last few months alone. And they're going to start trying to trim that profit, take the profit off the table, if not sell the position entirely. So that's the risk to you as an investor if you try to chase this thing and get in now. Maybe there's a lot more left in the tank for this to run higher, but that is currently a big unknown given where we're at in the cycle and what management has told us. Now, after talking it over, Casey and I think the best path forward for Aehr Test Systems specifically is if they fired up that ATM at the market program and issued some more stock and sold it into the market to raise cash. They've done this in the past to great success, and this is a perfect opportunity to do so again, because by all indications, it would appear the valuation has gotten ahead of itself again, like it did a few years ago during mid-2023 through Q3 2023, when there was something similar going on with silicon carbide and the electric vehicle boom that had already passed and was on its way to a downturn. The big difference this time, of course, is we're probably not nearing the end. At least our opinion is we're not at the end of the AI accelerator and AI data center cycle. Nevertheless, Aehr management, if you're listening, if you're looking at the numbers and based on your guidance, if the business is now massively overvalued, a great way to set yourself up now for the next few years would be to issue some stock and raise some cash. Maybe you can go out and purchase another tuck-in acquisition again, like the one InCal. If that does happen again, like it has in the past with Aehr Test Systems, investors, you're going to want to be aware of that and keep a close eye on that, because that would be a reason for the stock price to top and start to decline from here on. As you can see from this chart right here, that is in fact what has already begun to occur. In this last quarter, Aehr's management decided to sell $10 million worth of stock onto the market. And I'm having to come back and record this clip after the fact, because subsequent to the original recording, Aehr management did exactly what we've been talking about here and announced that they raised $60 million in cash by selling new stock into the market using their ATM program. So there you go. For investors out there, for traders, whoever you are, here's your sign. Maybe not like a Bill Engvall type of here's your sign, more like an ace of base. Here's your sign. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this brief update on Aehr Test Systems. Casey and I will be back later this week with more. And remember to check us out at shipstockinvestor.com. Take care, everybody.